Farm in Jersey. Nice to have you on, Laurie.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on the book. Tell us what's so funny about the Funny Farm.
The Funny Farm, when I was growing up, my mom always said it's fit for lunatics and full of animals. All of these animals are rescues, and we have over 600 rescued animals, all from either difficult situations, abandoned, abused, unwanted. And like I said, they're all rescues. So most of them, it's their last stop, before euthanasia.
Right. So, Laurie, tell us about the farm and how you got to the farm, because it's part of your book. Many people might think this is a children's book, but there's some tough stories in here.
There are some tough stories. It's equally heartbreaking as it is inspirational. And it's my memoir, but it's really a tribute to my mother. And she is the reason I wrote the book. I used to say growing up that she needed to write a book. She escaped from an abusive marriage to my father, her and 3 kids, and we moved into a shack in the woods, and she started to do odd jobs, and she started working at animal control and started bringing home all the animals that were going to be euthanized. And they were in the house. We could barely take care of ourselves, let alone the animals. And she said, as bad as people have it or we have it, somebody always has it worse. And she always taught us to give back, and she taught us to be kind to one another.
So how did you get this farm? Because I know this was something you always dreamed about.
Yes. So I actually dreamed it for her. I said, Mom, because we wound up living in this rental house that didn't have electric or water in the beginning. We lived there for 28 years. And I always said, as a girl growing up, I said, Mom, I'm going to buy you your own farm of your very own when I get older. And in my late 20s, she was diagnosed with cancer. And I hurried up trying to buy the farm that I'm in today. And she died right before I made settlement on the property. I thought it could save her life. And, those animals saved our life. And I just thought that, now it's my turn to pick up where she left off and for me to save other animals. So we started out with 35, and now we're over 600. We're the largest in the tri-state area.
Wow, congratulations. And by the way, I'm sure your mom is looking over you and so proud of you. And there's some odd friendships at the farm. Give us an example of some of the crazy things that go on at the farm.
So people laugh and they say, what makes your farm different from anybody else's? And number one, it is the animals all get along no matter what the species. And we have a kindness program where we teach kids that all of these different animals can get along. So can you as children or as adults. We have Jello, it's a duck, and Hope. So Hope is a blind baby kitten, and Jello was a duck that just needed a friend, and they were put together. So it was Hope and her seeing eye duck Jello. They have since grown up, and Jello is now out with his friends, and the kitty is in. There's Jello and Hope. And Hope actually did get her eyesight a little bit back in one eye, but we never thought that she was going to make it. So that's one of them. We also have Cooper, which is an alpaca, along with a big, gigantic steer. They are best friends. If you take one out of the paddock, the other one follows. But the animals roam free here. So when you come, people say, can we pet the animals? It's a rescue. It's not a petting zoo. But the animals will not let you walk away without petting them. So, you have to really like animals to come here, and don't wear your best shoes.
How do you keep this going? Because this sounds like taking care of 600 animals. That's a lot.
Yes. So people ask how I started it, and my answer is always the same. It's not on purpose. Life happens when you're busy making plans. I'm a graphic designer and photographer. I used to work for Campbell Soup, being an illustrator, and I also work for the Federal Aviation Administration still to this day. So we function on donation only. We don't charge admission. We're open 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Sundays. You can just show up. If you have money, you can put it in our little bucket. If you don't, that's okay. My mom had not a dollar for each of us to go anywhere. So she said, in her memory, I'm keeping it free because we couldn't go anywhere. And if we can help anybody else with that, that's how we do that. And I also have my full-time job because during COVID, like everybody else, I was shut down for a bit. So thank goodness I said, no matter what, I will never go out of business, and I will always have money for those animals. So my job was able to, fill in where people couldn't because they couldn't come.
Laurie, you're amazing. The book is beautiful. It's called Funny Farm.
If you want to go to our website, it's funnyfarmrescue.org, and it'll keep you up to date on what's going on.
All right. Well, so nice to meet you, Laurie. God bless you and all the work that you do. Appreciate you coming on Good Day New York.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Good Day's coming right back.